So the 2026 Oscars just happened, with one battle after another being the big winner of the night, winning Best Picture. So let's talk about this ceremony. I was pretty happy with the Oscars this year overall in terms of the ceremony itself and the wins as well. When it came to my predictions, I got 18 out of 24 correct, so 75%, which, not bad. I made a couple risky moves that didn't pay off, but that's fine. I definitely did a lot better last year from what I recall, but I wasn't really keeping track that much. But anyways, before we talk about the wins itself, let's talk about the ceremony a little bit. Conan O'Brien was the host for the second year in the row. Usually I find these kind of ceremonies really cringe and like unfunny, which is why I basically skip every single precursor ceremony because I can just find out who won after the fact. But still, Conan's a really funny guy, and every sketch he was in, especially the beginning where he was like honoring the films nominated this year, and the end sketch was also relatively funny. Conan's just a funny guy. The other sketches without him, they weren't as good. I enjoyed the Sigourney Weaver, Pedro Pascal one with Grogu, that was funny. The Bridesmaids one went on for like a little too long. And yeah, there weren't that many, which I was very pleased by. The two musical numbers for I Lied to You and Golden were pretty good. And the In Memoriam section was also pretty sweet. It was fairly long, and we got individual tributes to Catherine O'Hara, Robert Redford, which was really nice to see. It's a shame we didn't get anything more for Robert Duvall. Overall, really good ceremony. Now let's talk about the wins themselves. One battle after another won 6 Oscars. It won Best Picture, of course, won Best Director, Best Supporting Actor for Sean Penn, who, speaking of Sean Penn, he gave one of the best speeches I have like ever heard at the Oscars. Everything he just said, it really encapsulated what US society really is as a whole. And it was really awesome to. I'm just joking, of course. Yeah, he didn't show up, he didn't give a speech. No one even collected the trophy. I read somewhere it's a rule if like someone doesn't show up, if they're still alive, then they just move on with the ceremony after the Marlon Brando incident. Don't know if that's true. But yeah, that was pretty underwhelming. And it also won Best Casting, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. Overall, pretty solid. I wasn't expecting it to win Best Casting. This is the very first year that Best Casting came out, so we really didn't know if it's gonna follow what SAG does with Best Ensemble or everything. But in the end, I think it's just like this category is probably gonna go to whatever movie wins Best Picture, honestly, because that just makes the most sense. Sinners was the second biggest winner, winning. It won Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan, which I'll talk about a little later. Also won Best Cinematography. The cinematographer for the film is the very first woman to ever win an award for Best Cinematography. Compared to basically every Oscars category, Best Cinematography is basically entirely male dominated. We didn't get the first female nominee until like a couple years back, which is insane to see. Glad that she won, even though I think One Battle has the slight edge over it, but that's another discussion for a different day. Sinners also won Best Original Screenplay. It also won a Best Original Score. And so yeah, it was really nice to see. Sinners was the most nominated film in Oscars history. It kind of underperformed. It only won a quarter of the awards it was nominated for. But still, really nice to see Sinners get some sort of love. Because when it came out originally, we really didn't know if it would win anything. But yeah, nice to see that. Frankenstein won 3 Oscars. It was, yeah, we expected it to win costume design, production, makeup, and hairstyling. Not surprising. K-pop Demon Hunters won 2 Oscars for Best Animated Feature and Original Song. And when it won Original Song, it was the worst part of the ceremony was definitely when they cut that guy off. He was about to thank some more people, and they just started playing the music and they put the microphone down. That's like mad disrespectful considering how long some of the sketches are. Would it really bother for him to like go on for like an extra minute? How much time are we really saving? Like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, but and a couple other movies won a one award, like F1 won Best Sound, Hamnet won Best Actress, of course, for Jessie Buckley. Weapons won its only Oscar that was nominated for Amy Madigan. We'll talk about that in a little bit. There was a tie for the first time, and I think 13 years. I think sound mixing from like a decade ago had a tie for best live action short film. Two people exchanging saliva and the singers both tied for best live action short film. Other than it being a tie, nice to see that there were two winners, more people winning Oscars. That's good in my books. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about some of the wins. Oh, first off, let's talk about the movies that didn't win. Out of the Best Picture nominees, Bugonia, Marty Supreme, The Secret Agent, and Train Dreams did not win any Oscars. Honestly, I was expecting Bugonia and Train Dreams not to win. Secret Agent maybe could have won International Feature. Brazil did win last year. I was looking back through the history of International Feature, especially in the mid 1900s. There were countries that won Best Foreign Feature 2 years in a row. Did not happen this year. Instead, Sentimental Value won, which I was expecting, and Marty Supreme. That we'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's talk about individual wins, or more specifically, what surprised me the most. There was mainly just two categories that I was really shocked by, even though there were some predictions that didn't come true. The first one was Best Documentary Feature. Mr. Nobody Against Putin won. I think most people, including myself, were expecting The Perfect Neighbor to win. I didn't discuss this that much because I have not seen any of those films, unfortunately, which that's on me. I should probably change that going on to next year. But I really like that Mr. Nobody Against Putin won. It's really showcasing a topic going on, the Ukraine and Russia war, which obviously most people aren't talking about it. We're talking about the Israel-Palestine conflict, and now with the war going on in Iran. But it's really nice to see us talking about some subjects that, even though mainstream news is kind of just like pushing back, they want to talk about what's hot right now. It's nice to see a film like this win. And of course, Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan. Now, this discussion, let's stop talking about this for a sec. I'm so glad this award season is over. Because the fact that this lasts till the middle of March, it's just so exhausting with the BAFTAs incident, with the guy of Tourette's, John Davidson, and then with the Timothy Chalamet opera ballet, people just like not understanding what he said and making a big deal out of it. I'm just tired. But overall, most people were like, there was a good chance that Michael B. Jordan was going to win, especially with his SAG win. Some people have been saying this is like the best, easily the best acting performance of the category. And other people are like, this is easily the worst. He shouldn't have been nominated whatsoever. I'm in the middle on this. I think he gave a better performance than DiCaprio and Mora. But I think Ethan Hawke, and especially Timothy Chalamet, in the end, they did give the better performances overall. Michael B. Jordan, for me, was the highlight for Sinners, quite easily. He's been snubbed before for Creed and Black Panther. So it's really nice to see him win this award, because he's one of the best actors working right now, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do next. He also went to In-N-Out Burger after his win, which we have to keep that tradition alive. I really like to see that. The thing that probably helped him win was like three things. One, him winning at SAG, which SAG winners is the actors branch, which is the biggest branch at the Academy. That probably helped out a lot. Second thing, the BAFTAs incident. I think there may have been some sympathy votes. I didn't talk about that, so my brief thing. I think the BAFTAs and BBC, it's disgraceful that they didn't cut it out, because it would have been quite easily to cut it out. But also the people attacking John Davidson, a guy with a disease he can't control, and people are just calling him racist for like no reason. He meant what he said. I think that's just really stupid and ignorant of people to say. I think the BBC and BAFTA should be blamed, not the man himself. He deserves to be there. And the third thing was the Timothy Chalamet ballet opera. Granted, Oscar voting closed, I think, a day or two after he said that. But most people didn't understand what he said. He wasn't disrespecting. He wasn't saying, yo, ballet and opera are abysmal forms of arts that no one gives a shit about. He was saying they're like dying art forms that most people aren't going out to seeing, which, looking at all of the stats, that's true. Lots of people aren't going to see ballet and opera. The people who are getting mad, when was the last time they went to see an opera show or a ballet show? They probably haven't. So he was right, but just like Marty Supreme, the film itself, it didn't win any awards. It's a shame to see. I don't think Timothy Chalamet is going to get another Oscar nomination for like a while now, because people are kind of mad at him for like basically a nothing burger. But whatever. Hey, maybe he'll get a nomination for the new Dune movie. Probably not going to happen, but that'd be interesting to see. Amy Madigan winning for Weapons. That was really sweet to see. That was maybe I'm not going to say my favorite win because it was the first win. It was really heartwarming to see. She gave a really good speech, and I wasn't expecting her to win. I was rooting for Tiana Taylor. I thought, not rooting for her. Honestly, aside from Michael B. Jordan, the acting wins, those were the strongest wins in the categories. Same with Amy Madigan. She gave the most iconic performance, even with the lowest screen time compared to her fellow nominees. It was really nice to see her win. This isn't a legacy win whatsoever. Like, Amy Madigan, not the most prolific actress that like people like are absolutely raving. Her last Oscar nomination was 40 years ago, so she's also not like doesn't have like a career narrative like Glenn Close, let's say. But nice to see her win. Sean Penn's win. I don't know where Sean Penn was. He could not care less about this. But he did give the best performance. Sean Penn's performance in One Battle After Another was probably my performance of the year, honestly. A performance I'm still thinking about. Probably his best performance overall. And yeah, a lot of people talk about like the narrative and the politics of the Oscars when most of the time we should be like awarding the best movies. So it's nice to see him win his third Oscar, which he got this third Oscar so easily compared to like Meryl Streep. It took her decades to win the Oscar. Denzel and Robert De Niro have been trying to get a third Oscar for so long now, and they still haven't. That's probably a video I'm going to talk about in like the future. Now that award seasons are done, I have like a couple of videos in mind overall that you're probably going to see like one of them like every month, including in April. Be sure to stay tuned. But now, Ryan Coogler won Best Original Screenplay for Sinners, his first Oscar win. Amazing to see. Ryan Coogler is one of the best working directors right now. Speaking of videos, once I finish this video, I'm working on a Ryan Coogler video. Now that the Oscars have happened, I have to do like some other stuff. It's going to take me a while, but I'm going to have it out by the end of March, so stay tuned for that. But really nice to see him win. A very deserving win. And one of the best filmmakers working like in general. I'm really excited to see what he has going forward for us. Maybe in a couple years, maybe probably a couple decades, Ryan Coogler could win director or picture if he has a really good film coming out. He's probably not going to win for Black Panther 3, but that's to be expected. And of course, the best part of maybe the night was Paul Thomas Anderson winning 3 Oscars. Oh my God, as he is easily one of my favorite filmmakers and my top 3 favorite directors of all time. He's so talented, and to see him finally win not 1, not 2, but 3 Oscars for adapted screenplay, director, and picture was so amazing to see. Not only was he the strongest in those categories, so it wasn't like overdue compared to other like legacy wins, but it was just so amazing to see him win. This was the only thing I was like really looking forward to. If he would have missed like any of these Oscars, it would be a terrible day to be a PTA fan, honestly. His speeches were really nice. Of course, giving 3 speeches, that's a little bit of a lot, but again, amazing to see him win. If you want to check out my Paul Thomas Anderson video, you should check it out. But anyways, overall, One Battle After Another being the big winner of the night. That was amazing to see. These past 3 years, we have Everything Ever All at Once, Oppenheimer, Anora, now One Battle After Another. These are like some of the best wins in a row in like Oscars Best Picture history. Like again, like those previous films, One Battle After Another was the strongest film in the category, and it was my personal film of the year overall. the message of the film is something that holds up, and I think is gonna hold up for like years to come. So seeing it win Best Picture, man, that was nice to see. Other wins overall, I mean, Jessie Buckley, of course, was gonna win Best Actress, and there overall wasn't too many surprises. And overall, yeah, I really enjoyed the Oscars 2026, and it was one of the best ceremonies in a while. I hope Conan's the host of the future Oscar events. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but hopefully it'd be nice to see. Yeah, I had a really fun time watching the Oscars. It was a blast the whole way through. There were some lows, but it was thrilling and it had you at the edge of the seat the whole time. A really nice experience, and I'm so glad that these winners won their Oscars, whether they were first time winners or this was their second or third time. Awesome to see. So, anyways, you guys, those were my thoughts on the 2026 Oscars. I'm going to have a Ryan Coogler video at the end of the month, so be sure to stay tuned. Anyways, if you want to see the life and career of Paul Thomas Anderson, check out this video right here. And there's probably another video up here relating to the Oscars if you want to check it out too. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys have an amazing rest of your week, and I hope to see you all next time. See ya.